3.2 Description, the purpose of description writing. Writers use description in writing to make sure that their audience is fully immersed in the words on the page. This requires a concerted effort by the writer to describe the world through the use of sensory details. Now, when we talk about sensory details, we're talking about sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. The use of all of the senses allow your reader to truly experience or imagine what you are describing. When one writes a description essay, the first thing you do is choose a subject. Once you have chosen the person, place, or object that you want to describe, your challenge is then to write an effective thesis statement to guide that essay. Now, the remainder of your essay will describe this subject in a way that best expresses your thesis. So, remember, you should have a strong sense of how you will organize your essay. Choose one strategy and stick to it. Every part of your essay should use vivid sensory details, so think about sight, smell, sound, touch, those things. And the more you can appeal to your reader's senses, the more they will be engaged in your essay. There are two basic forms of description. You have objective, which focuses on facts and observable details. With objective, the purpose is to present a precise, literal picture of your subject. So you're going to leave emotions out of it. You're going to avoid highly charged emotional appeals and or creative imagery. The purpose of an objective description is to present the reader with information required to make an evaluation or decision. The second basic form of description is subjective. Subjective creates impressions through sensory details and imagery. The writer's perceptual world guides the writing. The purpose of a subjective description is to create an individual's sensory idea of a subject. They want you to feel the way they do about the subject. Like, for example, a trip to the lake. For the description essay, we are going to work with a blend. I want you to use both subjective and objective. Generally, most writing is not purely objective or subjective, and all good descriptive writing, whether objective or subjective, is going to rely on those specific details. We need to think about the impact of connotation. All words denote or indicate a particular meaning. Those are our dictionary definitions. Example, home would be a shelter or domicile. But the connotation of the word home, there's no place like home, is very different from the dictionary definition. So some words have connotations, and those are their implied or suggested meaning. For example, home is where the heart is. So think about the impact of connotation as you write your description essay. Connotation, remember, reflects a writer's values, views, and attitudes towards a subject. Word choice. You need to consider purpose, readers, and discipline when you are choosing words. There are two types. We have abstract words, which are generalized concepts. So you'll say motor vehicle. A concrete word for motor vehicle would be pickup truck or Jeep Wrangler, or it would be more specific. Abstract individual, more concrete would be boy. Abstract protective headgear, or concrete, you'd have helmet. So this is the difference between abstract and concrete language. Generally, for a descriptive essay, you're going to use an implied thesis. That means you're not going to write a 3-point thesis. So this technique will allow you to convey an essay's main idea subtly through the selection and arrangement of details. When you plan a descriptive essay, you may choose to do an explicitly stated thesis. a good example is the sculptures that adorn Philadelphia City Hall are a catalog of 19th century artistic styles. So you've explicitly stated that you're going to speak about the sculptures of Philadelphia and that they are in the style of the 19th century. And then you're going to go through to describe. So if you choose to do an explicitly stated thesis, that's not a problem either. But generally implied is sort of the way that the essays tend to want to flow.